What's up YouTube, WePostE here, and today it's Victor bringing you guys another battle for our standard series. This time it will be an RU tiered match against some random stranger, and we're using a team submitted by the good fellow who goes by the name of Malta 7000. Shout out to him, his link will be in the description below. And the second time recording this because the first time I was using the mic that my laptop came with, like the mic that comes with your laptop, you know, that thing that's really horrible. And so yeah, I had to face palm myself with that one because like my narration wasn't the best, but yeah, it's always a pain to redo something that you've just done. So his team consists of one thing to note about this team that Malta 7000 included in his personal message, that this team, he noticed that the team kind of lacked an offensive presence in the absence of Trick Room, which I honestly have to agree with, because whenever Trick Room wasn't set up, I found myself constantly having to revert to go back into Dusk Noir because that's the main wall on this team, and till I could find a time to set up the Trick Room again and bring in one of my guys safely to switch the momentum back into my favor. So his team consists, I'm on the other side by the way, I have the Dredagon, Beartick, etc. And so basically he has the Dusk Noir there as the main wall, set him up Trick Room, of course, the ninja bug, a Selgor, is mainly the lead to put up, set up spikes for offensive pressure. Beartick and Dredagon, physically based attackers. Magneton and Slowking are special attackers. And yeah, now Magneton, I have to say, for a Pokemon that's supposed to be really slow, it actually has a sort of high base speed at base 60, and that actually comes into play because it actually kind of is actually slower in Trick Room against some Pokemon, and that actually comes into play this battle. So let's get on with it, shall we? He's going to lead off with Slow Queen, which is just awesome because it's female, and he's going to go for a Calm Mind. Why I did not lead off with the Selgor Ninja Bug, I have no idea, because this is just screwing me over. I set up a substitute because I thought he would go for a Toxic, and I figured, okay, I can burn him, maybe do some stuff, but no. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll go into Dredagon, and then I'll go for an Outrage, because base 48, base 30, I don't think he'll have speed EVs, right? But no. I tied to an Ice Beam, which is just like, okay then, I just sacked my Dredagon for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So I'm thinking, alright, now I'll go into Beartick. I got the Trick Room up. I should be able to outspeed the Slow Queen, do some damage with the Night Slash. I'm a bandit after all. No! And the whole reason I wasn't going into Magneton at this point was because I figured that, number one, he'd outspeed me, and number two, at +2 special defense, Thunderbolt's not going to do anything. No, guys, it does 80%. It does 80%, guys, so yeah. Also, why he probably doesn't have the Scald, I'm assuming, because first turn he went for Slack Off, second turn he went for Psychic, which is just like, okay. And also, he if you guys didn't notice, he was outspeeding me, so that's kind of what I meant, but that's not where it comes into play. So this turn he's going to go into Durant, and I'm going to go into Dusk Noir, and he goes for Superpower. I'm just thinking, okay, it doesn't matter. I wasn't predicting a Superpower, because I thought that these things only had X-Scissor and Thunderbolt, the X-Scissor and Iron Head, but because Dusk Noir is like the main wall on this team, and the thing wore out, Trick Room wore it out, I figured the best choice would be Dusk Noir, and Dusk Noir has Volo-Wisp. Now, why he didn't switch out and he went for Home Claws instead is beyond me, because this guy's not a noob. He's played over 60 games in RU, so he probably knows that all Dusk Noirs carry Will-O-Wisp. So yeah, that play kind of puzzled me a bit, I'm not gonna lie. But now I'm going to set up the Trick Room, and I can go into my Magneton extremely safely. Let's just speed this up a bit here. That was really slow. It was in really slow mode, and also really slow. How about that? I'm going to go in Dusk Noir. I knew he wasn't going to go for a Superpower because my Dusk Noir was in at the time, so there really was no point in going him. So I had it relatively safe switching to Magneton. Here he makes a second questionable play, going into Crawdont on my Thunderbolt, which is I'm just thinking, okay, why would you do that? Because there was actually no reason for me to go for Flash Cannon if that was you were predicting, right? Because yeah, so I'm obviously would have gone for Thunderbolt. It's my strongest move. It's stab. I'm specs. This is analytic Magneton, which is actually really cool because every time he switches out, I do 1.5 times damage. Now here, this is really interesting. I'm going to go for he's going to go for Swords Dance, as I go for a Thunderbolt. And you see that the Trick Room only has one turn left. So at first I was kind of puzzled as to why he went for Sword Dance and just tried to kill me off right away. But then I'm thinking, oh wait, yeah, he thought that he would be slower than me, so his thinking was, in the Trick Room, so his thinking was probably, I take a Thunderbolt, set up the Sword Dance, next turn Trick Room wears off, I'm faster, I can kill him, and since he's a Trick Room team, I can probably take out most of his other Pokemon as well. Good thinking, but he did not think of the fact that Magneton might actually be slower than him in a Trick Room, which is hilarious. Now, gonna go into Dusknoir here because I didn't want to take an Earthquake or really anything that he wanted to do to me. And if I were to sack one of my Pokemon, it would probably have to be Dusknoir, because if I can get something right, Slowking can actually deal with both of these Pokemon. But I'm going to bring in a Selgor first because I don't want Slowking to take a hit, because this Charchops is still a huge threat when it's at full HP. I'm going to go for the Yawn here because I figure either I can nail this or the Hitmonlee with the Yawn, and then the next turn something is going to fall asleep, or I can get some extra damage. Try to nail that Archeops down to below half health so it's not a threat anymore. Now, in another battle I had, the Archeops actually had U-turn, so that kind of spoiled my plans of doing anything, because it was able to knock out my Selgor with the Sash, and it also was able to switch out. So yeah. I knew he was going to go for the Fake Out here because I had 1 HP and he wants to do priority shenanigans. So I figure, okay, I'll go into Slowking. I can take whatever move that he wants to throw at me. And now I can go for Trick Room, because this is good because this way I can go for a Psychic. If he switched out in this Archeops, it wouldn't have mattered either because the Trick Room's up this turn, so I can just outspeed both of his Pokemon and KO both of his Pokemon with the moves Psychic and Surf respectively. If you're wondering, Slowking's fourth move is Fire Blast. So definitely regretting sacking Druddigon and Beartic so early. I really thought I wouldn't have been able to win this match, but because he made some questionable plays, I made some really strange plays because I'm Victor. So yeah, I think it evened out in the end. If you guys want to see me use one of your teams, send me a PM and I'll use it. Just copy and paste the thing over from Showdown, because Showdown's the thing I use. We might use Pokemon Online sometime. I like Pokemon Online. I don't know. We might do a PO live stream. Who knows? People seem to like Pokemon Online for some reason. It's just whichever one people don't use. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.